Cornwall, known for its rugged coastline, world-class surf, hearty pasties and of course, rattler. But tucked away in the small town of Bude lies a canal, brimming with carp. Yes! I hope you enjoyed the Bude fishing videos over the years, because I certainly have enjoyed making them.
Good man. Good man.
Quite a nice fish.
This is, isn't it?
Lovely. Nice way to start the day.
Yeah, it is. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Cheers. Have a good day.
Yeah, same to you as well.
Oh, well. Sleep wasn't really a thing last night. Not because the fishing was prolific. I did have a bream at one point. Lots of liners, but it's mainly because the wind picked up mentally last night. Wouldn't have been surprised if it's like 40-mile-an-hour gusts just coming straight off the sea. And because I'm right next to the sea, which was the reason I set up here, I got absolutely battered. But it does mean I got what I came for, a carp as close to the beach as possible on the very first morning. So a cracking start, really happy with that. Plenty of time ahead of us, so lots more fish to catch, I'm sure. Well, a lovely way to start the day, considering I only got here last night about 10:15. There you go, buddy, you're done, aren't you? Woo! Well, I do love it when a plan comes together, and it was rather last minute yesterday. I decided to travel down in the evening, so I was here for first thing this morning. So we left about 7:30 last night, got here 10:15, and it's the very end of the sunset. Gorgeous sky, really peaceful. The tide was actually quite far out, but you know what? I wasn't actually planning on fishing last night. I was going to get the bed chair out on the bivvy, get a good night's sleep, and then start fishing from this morning. But you know how it is. All the kit was there ready to go. I bought my night ticket so that I could be here. So the rods went out, but that did then mean I didn't really get any sleep. The bobbins were dancing, line bite after line bite. I dropped the sensitivity, still kept getting them because the wind was picking up. I must have been getting 40-mile-an-hour winds last night at least. It was battering the bivvy, that was keeping me up. Then I had a bite from a bream, which didn't even land. So really disruptive night. It does mean this morning I have now had one because I had some bait in those spots. Bite went off, it's a lovely mirror to start the day. So I've caught the fish, which is always the most important fish of a session in my eyes, as it breaks your that barrier of the first fish barrier. You've already caught something, and everything from here on in is a bonus. But I'm going to travel quite light. I'm going to bring these two rods in a second, go get some breakfast and some fuel in me because I didn't bring any food with me. I'm pretty tired, as you can imagine. And then today we're just going to travel light, baiting up a few spots here and there. I've got two little rods with me, so I'm just going to drop a rod in on feeding areas, or if I've got some bread and I see them on the surface, free line to them. So really light, minimal kit, keep it mobile, and hopefully we can pick up a few more fish doing that because it is forecast to be pretty warm this week. I'm looking forward to it. I've had some caffeine, I've had some food, but I'm still feeling pretty tired. So I've had a little walk along the beach. As you can see, the tide is quite far out, and a little bag of clothes there because, whew, look at them pasty white legs. Let's do this. Hopefully it wakes me up. Tell you what, a morning swim, whew, that'll wake you up. That feels good. Let's go fishing for the day. It was at this point that I met up with my good friend Jordan, someone I'd met years ago on one of my very first trips to Bude. If I wanted to maximise my chances on this session, sticking close to him was a no-brainer. What Jordan doesn't know about the canal probably isn't worth knowing. We set off travelling light, introducing bait into likely looking spots that we'd revisit later on to check for signs of feeding fish. Staying mobile and dropping in on spots was the order of the day, and with temperatures set to soar, I'd come prepared. A fresh loaf of bread ready for when the surface action hopefully kicked off. She's just come up in the big, well, common. Down here as well. Common just came up in the weed there.
Look at that, game mirror 20.
Let's get some bread. Let's get some bread. There he is. He's under there again. Now what you can't see here is that this cast just looped over a branch, meaning that the bread was sitting perfectly on the surface of the water. And it didn't take long for a carp to come along and take the bread. Or so I thought. Let's go a bit further. There we go. Oh, here we go, here we go. Yeah. Oh, I'm still on the tree. This is also a lesson to never pull for a break directly at you, because that hook came flying back at me at such force, it hit me on the cap. I would have done some serious damage. That hit my cap.
Basically go flying past.
Oh, fast off fish, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, come on.
In case you couldn't tell, the fish were loving being under this far bush. There's a bit of shade and shelter, only occasionally coming out taking the odd bread, so trying to get it as close in as possible was the only way I could get a bite. Go on. He's gone under it. He's missed it. He's turning around. He's gone back under the tree. Unsurprisingly, after 10 or 15 minutes, maybe more, of me clumsily casting bits of bread at these fish, they disappeared. So we headed back down the canal and checked on all the spots we'd put bait in previously. But annoyingly, there were no signs of feeding anywhere, and the odd fish we did see were on the surface and not interested in any bread at all. So after walking miles upon miles, we headed back to the top of the canal, where it's the only place I'd had a bite. Only this time I decided to head round to the other side so I could fish directly above them and not have to clumsily cast into the tree any more times. As you can see, that didn't make any difference, and I was at an all-time low morale-wise. We had worked our asses off all day for nothing, and the first carp I see take inches from me, I pull out of. I even waited. It was in and out of his mouth, and then I waited for it to go in, stayed in, struck, and still didn't hook. I don't think he spooked though. There's a few over here. One thing I know for certain, however, is that moping about doesn't catch your fish. Despite how frustrated I was, the only way I was going to rectify it was go again. Line snapped. What have I stood in today? What is going on? The line snapped on this one. Yeah, my head was fried at this point. It was only a little common, but... So, new hook on. Let's try again. My net's back there. Oh, I might lose this one as well. It's gone through this bush. Straight in this bush though, George. Yeah. Not sure if it's still on. It's still on. It's the other side of the bush. It's only small, but please go in. It's in. Oh, that was hard fought for today, mate. It's not even big, but it means so much. Well, this has got to be probably one of the smallest ones that I recall from here. The one that means the most. Today has been an absolute grueler. Been up and down the canal several times. I don't know how many miles we've walked. Just could not get a bite. And well, I pulled out of enough fish, so I became really frustrated with myself. Finally hooked one about 10 minutes before this one. Line snapped in two. And that's probably just where I've caught the trees a few times today. So retied on a hook. Thankfully they're in my pocket, because I found the other side where all the weed was, because could not see them from this bank. But when I went around there, I could see these little shapes just milling around in the weed and dropping it on their noses. This was literally on his nose for, I guess, say 2 or 3 minutes on his lip. Did not want to take it. So I was just tapping it, almost like a little jig, trying to attempt a perch or something. And eventually I think I just annoyed it and it slurped it down. Pristine little mirror. May not be very big, but I'm so happy to see it in my net. Hopefully, the evening onwards is a bit easier than it's been today. With the fish slipped back, I certainly needed a bit of a rest and a recharge, which leads me nicely on to today's sponsor. When I'm out filming long shoots off-grid, much like this trip, there's one item of tackle that I cannot leave home without, unless you want me to stop filming halfway through, and that is a massive power bank. And thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Jackery, I have their latest Explorer 1000 V2, which is going to power absolutely everything I need for this trip, with plenty of juice left afterwards. As you can see, it's charging absolutely stacks right now. Laptops on charge, drone batteries, action cam batteries, 4 of the batteries for that camera, and it's not even batting an eyelid. This next gen power station has had some serious upgrades. With a 1500 watt AC output and a huge 3000 watt surge peak, it's capable of running everything from the camera gear that I brought with me to bigger kit like air pumps or even a portable hob. It now charges 7.5 times faster than the previous model, and a full charge takes just 1 hour, which you can monitor and control through the Jackery app. With a Life PO4 battery that lasts 4 times longer, that's over 4,000 life cycles, it's built to go the distance. There's 6 charging ports, including dual USB-Cs, a car port, 2 pure sine wave AC sockets, all protected by Jackery's Charge Shield 2.0 system, offering over 60 types of safety protection. And at just under 24 pounds in weight with a solid carry handle and built-in LED lights, it's ideal for travel, filming on location, or even as a home emergency backup. The Explorer 1000 V2 is the ultimate portable power solution, and for me, it keeps the cameras rolling no matter where I am. So if you're interested in what you've seen today and maybe want to check out some other Jackery items, check the link in the description and the pinned comment. And a massive thank you to Jackery for sponsoring this video. Charge and a lovely little trip to the air-conditioned supermarket. I didn't actually head straight back to the canal. Instead, I parked up on the cliff top, sat there and just soaked up the sheer beauty of the Cornish coastline. Do I look dishevelled? Yes, of course I look dishevelled. I feel dishevelled. It's been a long old day, and according to Jordan's app, we've done 10 miles of walking today, and I can agree with that. It feels like I've walked 10 miles. I'm hot, sticky, horrible, but long gone is the memory, feeling refreshed from the sea. Maybe I'll have to do it again tomorrow morning. But as of right now, I'm back up the shallow end because the basin is completely off limits at the moment for a match, which is an evening match that goes on to about 8, 9 this evening. So can't fish down there, which is where I am going to do the night. So for now, I've come at the shallow end. I've got one rod. I pre-baited this swim before I left it earlier on, and getting back up here, there's a lot of bubbling. How people can jog in this weather, I do not know. I'm struggling just to walk around and talk to camera, but there's a lot of bubbling behind. So I'm going to get a rod out here and hopefully we'll get a quick action. And I've got my food with me, so just have a nice little chill up here, well away from Bude Central itself. And it's really quiet here, other than the odd mad joggers going through. Now the setup that I'm using is really, really simple. This is what I had my fish on this morning. It's actually a multi-rig, something I've very rarely used before. Really supple braid, so it can sit on the top of whatever it lands on, because I know there's a lot of weed out here. Some of it's silty. I'm not really sure what I'm presenting on. So that means it will sit nicely on the top of all of that. And it also means I can change the hook nice and quickly if I need to. Hook bait wise, it's just 2 cell quads, and or like the pop-up ones. They're yellow, so it kind of looks like sweet corn. I've fed, come on, focus, Joe. I've fed a lot of sweet corn out there as well, so that's kind of what they'll be grubbing around on. And so that's just going to a simple lead clip setup, bit of tubing, my usual go-to anywhere. The only difference is I'm using this multi-rig. And to add to that, something you don't typically do with multi-rigs because it can pull the hook round, is just add in a little mesh bag. But I'm doing that because it's literally an underarm flick. It's not any distance. I'm not putting a load of effort into the cast, just picking on a little mesh bag, so a little bit of extra attraction around the hook bait. That will dissolve, the pop-up will sit right next to that, and hopefully we can get a bite. The amount of bubbling around there is ridiculous. So let's get the rod in and hopefully get a quick bite.
That's a noise that sums up the last hour and a half, because I was convinced that that rod was going to go off. The amount of bubbles that was in that spot when I got in the swim and have continued to be there whilst the rod's been in should indicate that I'd get a bite. But I'm starting to think that those bubbles aren't actually fish, they're just the pockets of weed around releasing bubbles, because the same spots and patches that keeps coming up. And if it was carp creating today, my days, if it was carp creating that many bubbles, I am sure I would have had a bite, but I haven't, which makes me think it's not carp. And today's been one of those days where it's just made you question everything you're doing in carp fishing. How am I getting this wrong? What have I stood in to make me have this much bad luck today? I pulled out so many fish. So I'm looking forward to going down to the basin in a bit, putting the rods out, getting in my sleeping bag, getting some sleep, and tomorrow is a new day, and it will be more productive than today's been, because hopefully I've learned from today. I've found some spots where fish like to be. If the weather's the same as it is tomorrow, if the weather's going to be the same tomorrow as it was today, there we go. I know that that bed of weed over there is going to hold some fish. There's a few other places to try. Oh, but who knows? I absolutely love coming on the Bude, I really do. Being in the sea this morning, seeing the scenery. I took the drone up off one of the cliffs between Bude and Widemouth. It's just absolutely stunning here in Cornwall. And so I'm trying to embrace the whole fishing experience, which I think a lot of us can lose sight of sometimes. We go purely for the fish and forget about the surroundings. I've got to know that where I am is a truly spectacular place, and catching, as always, is a bonus. But I am hoping that tomorrow is more productive, because watching motionless rods or walking around with a rod that's not got a carp on the end of it all day does get rather tedious. So tonight is going to be a good night, and tomorrow's going to be a good day.
I got back to the basin, this time just in time for the sunset. Rods out and settled in for the night, hopeful of a good night's sleep with maybe a carp or two thrown in.
I got a very good night's sleep, so I am feeling better today. That doesn't bode well for how well the fish is going to be, because I was expecting once again to have a bite. I waited well beyond the bite window that I had that fish yesterday, and just absolutely nothing. Jordan had nothing last night as well, so bit of a head scratcher this one. But plan of attack today, we have come up with a little plan. I'm going to bring the rods in, go meet up with Jordan again. We're going to go up and down the canal, bait up half a dozen, 10 spots, something like that. Then go back to the car and head to the river, where we're going to try for the mullet for an hour or so. He's been catching some beautiful mullet recently, so I've never caught one. He's got a spot that hopefully will produce. If we have nothing there, hopefully we will. We'll then come back to the canal, go up and down again, check the spots we've baited, and if it's all clouded up, a bit like we tried yesterday, but try it a bit harder, and drop rods on top of that. And again, I've got the bread in the car. I've re-tied up the hook links, got everything absolutely nailed on, so there's no reason for me to lose any fish today, and hopefully we can get a few more on the top. Here's another lovely sunrise, lovely morning, watching everyone wake up. A lot of joggers. I'm not sure I could ever take up jogging, but I did do morning Pilates and back stretches, something which, if you've seen a previous video where it's all about taking care of yourself, loads of you were saying that, well, a lot of you got in contact or messaged or commented on the video about having back issues as well, and a lot of you do morning exercises and things like that, which I have been trying to do, but I made a point of doing it again today on the bank, and I do feel a lot more nimble and relaxed. So hopefully today will be a good day. Put the effort in and we'll actually get the rewards.
Buckets in hand, Jordan and I set off once again to prep a few spots and to get the step counter climbing. Frustratingly, we came across feeding fish but had nothing else with us, so we trickled in some bait, hoping to hold them there while we grabbed the mullet kit and tried our luck on the river for an hour, giving the carp time to start feeding freely.
Pre-bait missions finished. Hey look, I'm ahead on a bucket.
As was becoming quite the theme for this trip, the mullet didn't want to play ball either, so we packed away that kit, grabbed the carp stuff and set off once more for another scorcher of a day on the canal. Since I last fished here, several years ago, have all the fish been taken out? What is going on, for f***'s sake? Fearing that the rest of the day would follow on in this theme, and knowing I didn't have the mental strength to cope with that, we decided to act upon a bit of information that we received from some passers-by earlier on, that they'd seen some big, dark-shaped fish swimming around just below the surface by a cafe. That was all we needed to know to think they might just be up for a floater. What is going on? I do not get what the hell's going on. I'm puzzled. I deliberately waited. I saw it disappear down to his flipping bum, and still it didn't hook up. Here we go. He's missed it. Am I doing something stupid here? Come on. Here he comes. Here he comes. What, it's in his... No, he spat it out again. No. It can spin it out. Okay, I'm going to do one change. I'm not going to bury the hook. I'm going to have it like really visible. Yeah. Really lightly hook it. Yeah. Finally. Well, that worked. Amazing, yeah. Oh, it feels so good to be hooked onto something. Whee. Well, that worked. Pushing the bread round onto the shank, yeah. So the point was exposed.
Our result.
I finally got one. Oh,
Mate, that's so good.
They have pulled our pants down for 2 days.
Should we come here the first day?
Well, it may not be a monster, but after the couple of days myself and Jordan have had, it's very, very welcome. We've tried up and down the canal. I think yesterday we walked 10 miles. We're already at, what, 8 miles today? For nothing. I pulled out of a few. So we've actually come up to the lake at the top of the canal. That's also part of the Bude sort of angling association. And I managed this one. It does look like there might be a few bites to be had as well. But this is more than just a little mirror. It's something that's piqued our mental well-being, I'd say. It's been a grueler. And I know I've used that word a few times in this video, but it really has. Nega, let's get it back. See if we can get a few more. Understandably, after all the commotion, the rest of the fish that were there disappeared. So we made a move to the back of the wind on the other end of the lake. And I want to take this moment to talk about the lack of hookups that I've experienced on this trip. It's something that I still don't fully understand, which is why I want to ask you guys what you think could be the reason. I've caught countless fish on free line bread before, never had an issue with the hook coming out of the bread and hooking into the fish's mouth. On this trip, everything was kept the same. I was still using a size 4 floater claw, still using white bread, still using floater line. Everything was the same, except for the fact I was using a 6-foot rod compared to my usual 12 foots. My thought being that the striking action of a 6-foot is much less than that of a 12-foot, because naturally you've got less throw in the rod. So a 12-foot is pulling the hook out of the bread quicker, giving you a bit of a stronger strike and hooking those fish up, whereas the 6-foot wasn't doing that as well. Let me know what you think, because it really did puzzle me, as the only thing I can think was the difference between how I usually catch them on bread and why I wasn't so much on this trip. Go on. Here we go, 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 nice common. Yes! Lovely looking common. And then reeds. That's what you mean, tiny mouth on the thing. Oh, he's gone right into them reeds. I can't let you get in there. I'm giving it all this rod's got. Do get orange, isn't he? Unless that's just my Polaroids. He's in.
That means mate.
Oh.
He looks coy. Result.
Well, they've certainly been coy about it. Right, next fish is yours.
Alright.
I'm frustrated and elated at the same time.
That is... made it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Massive.
That's nothing out there. Look.
Yeah.
Give him some bread, see if he has it.
Look at this absolute beauty. Took a few attempts to get a second one, but there we are. 20 minutes on an old commercial. We have managed to get a couple of fish. This one certainly wants to go back, but I'll see if I can get him out one more time. He's a beautiful looking common. And looking at the mouths, they've been caught a few times, which is probably why it's been quite tricky to get him to take the bread fully in. I think he wants to go back, and I'm not going to hold him back any longer. So get him back, and George, it's your turn to have a fish. You've been very patient with me. I've been losing my head. It's your turn. Just sat down, ready for some food in what is quite a nostalgic spot for me, really, because the very first time I ever fished Bude Canal was when I was on a family holiday in a holiday let above the olive tree right there. I don't think it's a holiday let anymore. And the first time I came on holiday here with family, I didn't have any fishing kit with me. Saw the canal, saw people fishing, and thought, next time we come here, I'm going to fish. And the next time we came here, I did fish. And that's when I got quite a famous bite on camera. I say famous because I did quite well on my channel, but it then got stolen countless times and shared all over the internet, loads of different platforms. I lost track of how many times it got nicked. But then also that stemmed a love for Bude Canal and wanting to come back here, fish some more. I've done several videos over the years, not been for a very, very long time. And one of my best memories or sessions was actually right here. A couple of times actually. One time I caught probably 5 or 6 fish in the morning. Hectic morning. Jordan was fishing here. Alan Blair was fishing up there by the boats. So it was an awesome trip. That wasn't meant to be like a little name drop. It was just quite a cool experience to be fishing with Alan for one of the first times. And we just had loads of lovely fish. And another really core memory from this exact spot again was when my wife came with me, or now wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, came with me. And we were fishing here. I was showing her where I'd fished before, and she was with Jordan as well. And I needed the loo. There's some public toilets just over the road. And there's a reason for me telling you that, because I needed to nip over there. And I left Jordan with her. I said, if anything happens with my rods, help her out. And I got halfway across the car park, and all I heard was whee. I was like, that sounds like my alarms. So sure enough, I looked round and I looked to see there was a tip in the air, and it was sort of flailing around. And that's what on earth's going on over there? Obviously, it was one of my rods. Came back over, and sure enough, Marielle was playing her second fish. Actually, she'd caught her first fish earlier that day, right at the top end, where very near to where we caught some fish earlier, actually. And she was playing this fish, and we helped it in, and it ended up being the biggest fish of the trip, mid-double scaly mirror. And it was just so cool to see her holding a fish in such a meaningful spot to me, on a family level, on a fishing level, and also Cornwall on a personal level now with myself and my wife. I'm very sorry. You're probably going to be watching this bit or hear this on the screen in the background, Marielle. You're very upset that I'm in Cornwall without you, because this is where I took Marielle for the very first time. The next time we came to Cornwall, I got engaged here. I proposed to her, not far from Bude actually. And then we returned again on our honeymoon. So Cornwall is something that's very close to my heart, has been for a very long time. And to be able to fish here in somewhere as beautiful as this, it's just really, really special. So I'm cooking one of my the last meal for this trip, with that as the view, with so many memories of this little spot in particular. And I think the reason I'm being quite sentimental about it is because, yes, I'll probably fish this place in the future, but I filmed it quite a lot of times, and from now on, if I ever come back here, it's not going to be with the cameras, it's just going to be for the pure enjoyment of fishing in this place with all the memories that I've had. So I hope you've enjoyed this final Bude Canal video that I've created. We've still got a night ahead of us, so hopefully there's still more fish to come. But I'm very much going to enjoy this meal, enjoy the view, and take it all in. Having seen the bulk of the fish in the shallower part of the canal over the last couple of days, it made no sense to fish the deeper bowl closest to the beach on the final night. So we set up on the second basin in shallower water, hoping that those fish that were in the shallows are more likely to be here for the final night.
Very bottom. I wish, well, no one likes to do that. Oh, did it do it? I knew it was gonna. you filming me?
Yeah.
Can I do a little cool trick?
What's cool? That failed miserably.
Do you want to show you how it's done? Yeah, go on.
He's done it.
Only want to show you breaks up there. You're just going, I can't do it. I give up.
Well, after watching that back in the edit, I realised my attempt wasn't much better either. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But we sat down, enjoyed the evening, finally cooling off, and hoping that we'd made the right decision.
Ooh, I'll wake you up.
Come on. Maybe that's a decent one.
No, it's not. The way it's fighting is very small, but I think that the head shakes. But
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not good fun.
No.
Eh,
You love me.
I don't think that's in, mate. No, it's not.
Oh my god. I told you.
I'll let you off. That was some of the worst netting I think I've ever seen.
Mate, that is dreadful, isn't it?
Still not in.
Oh my god, mate.
Hey, third time's lucky. Well done, George. I'll put that in the edit as if you did it for the first time.
Yeah. Well, which one's that?
Morning.
Good morning. And one of two in rather quick succession just before first light. The other one I was keeping back to show you, but it managed to escape the net, so just the one to show you. The other one was about a £10 common, this being the first of the two in quick succession. Very, very welcome. So it seems we did find the fish. We set up in the right spot. Jordan had one or two, or did you lose one? One and a bream.
Yeah.
So there were some fish here, which is the main reason we set up here. And it's another little spot I've never fished before, actually. So ending it on a final fish in a location I've not fished before. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've thoroughly enjoyed coming back down here. And this will be the last fish I filmed from Bude Canal for the channel. As I said, I'll probably be back in the future for some personal fishing. But I hope you enjoyed the Bude fishing videos over the years, because I certainly have enjoyed making them. Thank you, buddy. Get you back and head on home.
This trip might not have been as prolific as some in the past, but when you have to put in more effort to catch them, the reward feels that much sweeter. I'll be back, Bude, but next time, the cameras will stay at home. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next week.